Hey everyone, welcome to this month's edition of Agent U. Laura and I are super excited because we have two special guests, not just one, the Nash Gals group. And Laura is actually a close friend of them. So she can take it away from there.
Yeah, I've known Jen Goslin for a really long time, actually since high school, and we've done some college stints together. And I've just been watching what her and Corinne are doing in the industry down in Nashville. I've been watching them for a while just grow their business so rapidly. And I love everything I'm seeing them market and all the closings that they've been sharing online. So I know today they're actually going to share how they're actually working on that and how they've built their branding. So I'm gonna let them talk a little bit about themselves and start their presentation for you.
Go ahead. Yay, thank you, Laura, for the sweet introduction. That is so nice of you. So yeah, we are the Nash Gals group. So I am Jen. This is Corinne. I'm from Pittsburgh originally. She's from California. So we kind of got that East Coast, West Coast vibe coming together in the South in Nashville, Tennessee.
Very well-rounded there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice too, because Nashville, it's a majority of people that are coming from out of state. So we're able to kind of have that relatability factor with, wherever our clients are coming from.
You're right. I didn't think about that. I guess it's similar for places like Florida too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so just a very quick background. Me and Jen were best friends. We both moved to Nashville about 4 or 5 years ago. Actually 5 now that I think about it. So we both worked in the restaurant industry on a very high volume bar on Broadway. So it's kind of like the Vegas strip of Nashville, and became best friends. And then COVID hit and we decided we wanted to do something different with our careers. And we decided to both join real estate together. And when we first started, we started off individually, but then realized we were much stronger as a team. So me and her decided to do a joint 50-50 partnership. And then we built a brand around that, which made us inherently more stronger as a realtor partnership than being individual. And so that's what we're going to kind of talk about today, is how we built our brand and how we utilized our background instead of, I think a lot of people are they shame themselves on their background versus actually emphasizing it and using it to your advantage. So
really true.
I'm really excited.
They hide like the life before real estate, when actually the life before real estate sets you up to succeed in your real estate career.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should embrace it. So that's kind of what we want to talk about, is how to embrace your specific brand, because everybody's brand is going to look differently. There isn't just one way that real estate needs to be done. It needs to be done tailored towards you and your goals and your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So we'll go ahead and hop on. Okay, so what do I do? I just click share.
You'll do the screen share at the bottom, and you are the host now.
Screen share screen.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Give us 2 seconds.
Okay.
Allow Zoom to share your screen. There we go. Zoom.
We like to keep you guys in suspense.
Yeah, we're waiting on our
Okay, can we see the screen?
Yes, we're good to go.
Hey.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and.
I love how colorful this is already.
So instead of just doing a boring PowerPoint, I kind of wanted to make it just a little bit more fun. We're going to cover a few topics here. Just to start off, this is us, obviously the Nash Gals group. There's me and Jen. This is Lacey, a new agent that we just took on. We're kind of coaching her through her first few transactions. And if she wants to stay on the team, fantastic. If she wants to go out and build her own brand, she'll be fully prepared to do that. So we're a team in a sense, but more or less coaching right now. And then we'll start off in the beginning. So how to build a brand. Who are you? So we'll use me and Jen as a kind of an example to kind of branch off of. For us, we were servers, restaurant people, hospitality people, and our background was pretty much that. And we're really fun. I would like to say we have a very similar personality. We like to go out, we like to have drinks. We're very extroverted. And so when we were looking at building what kind of real estate career we wanted to have, we wanted to really encompass that. And so that's our vibe. So for other people, I know a lot of other brands in the industry, if you have kids, your vibe could be very mom orientated, parenting orientated. If you're just getting into the industry and you're 18 years old, your vibe is more or less kind of branching out into a little bit of that generation and getting them to invest sooner than later. I know a lot of people wish they would have invested when they were 18 years old or when they were, able to do so. So that can kind of be your vibe. What's going to kind of encompass that is your sphere. And you can go ahead and talk about sphere since I know you love that.
Yeah, so these are going to be your people. So probably the main source of your business is going to be your sphere, the people that you know, the people that trust you. And that kind of goes along with your vibe. Like she was saying, we came from, the restaurant industry. So the people in our sphere were around our age. They're mainly first-time home buyers. And those are the people that trusted us. So those are the people that work with us. Granted, you will always have people that are outside of your sphere too, but that's where your main source of business is going to come from. And I know the other example she gave was if you're a mom, your sphere is going to be picking your kids up from daycare and the other moms, or going to your kids' soccer team and the other parents that are there too. Those are going to be your people. And I think real estate is a career it's competitive, but it's not, because people that we meet, and come and talk to on a daily basis aren't going to be the same people that another agent in our office is going to talk to on a daily basis. So you really want to hone in on your specific people and who you're surrounded with and who you're talking to. So that's why building relationships and activities and everything that you do is so important.
Yeah. And just to go off of that, the people that already like to hang around you are probably going to like to work with you as well. And so when we started building the business, we're like, okay, we're really fun to hang out with and we get invited to a lot of things. So how do we bring that aspect into the business and make them want to choose us to be their agent, is if we kept that same vibe. So you'll see when we get into how we present ourselves, how we encompass that. Okay, how are we going to tell people that we're fun to work with? We'll get into how we did our photography and our social media and everything. I want to go into finding a niche. So coming from the hospitality industry, we found that the service industry was lacking in the amount of lenders and the amount of realtors that were really catering to them. So as we all know, tipped income is extremely hard to kind of track and make sure that everyone's, claiming everything. And by the time we actually get a client that's tipped, it's already too late. I don't want to say too late, but they should have been preparing a year ago because they haven't been claiming, or they've been bip-bopping around restaurants and taking long breaks, extended, So our niche was, how are we going to cater to our former industry? We love our former industry. We don't want to leave it behind. We want to kind of bring them into what we're doing now. So we started doing service industry home buyer workshops versus the typical home buyer seminars. I think everyone does those and they're kind of overdone. We wanted to be very specific and target the people that we wanted to work with and the ones that we know and love. So we did a service industry home buyer happy hour, and that was the most successful home buyer happy hour we've ever done. And because every single person that we approached that was in the service industry felt like we were specializing something for them. And if they would have missed out on that, they would have been missing out on something spectacular because it was, again, catered to them. And then our other niche was Airbnb. So instead of just kind of targeting everyone with, okay, we're going to get you a home, we're going to get you a single family home, we wanted to target Airbnb because me and Jen both have a passion for that. And we started marketing ourselves towards Airbnb units. Again, we didn't leave out single family. I think people think when they find a niche, they target one specific niche and then ignore everything else. We still obviously were doing single family, but we were able to encompass this entire new client base by marketing ourselves as Airbnb experts because we had done so many trainings, had made so many relationships in that field.
Yeah. I think too, another thing to kind of tailor towards yourself with what we kind of did with the restaurant industry. I know you guys have seen home buyer workshops, seminars, and like when I hear a workshop or a seminar, that sounds boring. So we're like, okay, how can we spice this up and make it fun? Because that's our vibe. We're fun. And we're like, okay, let's do a happy hour. And that kind of worked with service industry because we know service industry loves going to a happy hour. I know they work in that field. That's their jam too. So we kind of did a little twist on it and made it a happy hour, made it this fun event. We tried to make it seem like, because home buying it's a fun and exciting thing, and we don't want it to be stressful. Or boring, I guess. So we wanted to do everything we can to make it fun. And we started trying to think out of the box too. We started building relationships with managers, telling these managers, hey, we will come and teach a class to your servers, to your bartenders, to your employees, anybody that wants to come and learn how to buy a home. So that's another strategy that we did too. We walked around to different restaurants, met different managers, and that not only allowed us to get in front of their employees, but it allowed us to build a relationship with those managers too. And we actually developed a really good relationship with one specific manager that he supports us, he refers us business, and he's somebody we go to see all the time. So it's not just about, I guess, lead genning at that point. You're building those relationships and keeping up with them. And if you keep talking to those people and you keep following up with them and you just stay present in front of those people that you're around on a weekly basis, then that's been pretty successful too.
This is straight up genius. I am so amazed with that. I would have never have thought to target that industry, but there's so many people in that industry that need houses too.
They do. And we also got a lender that she specializes in the tipped income. So having her to speak on the financing side was really helpful as well. And she's kind of our vibe too. So we're trying to work with people that, are fun, relatable. And it's funny because we have a ton of clients that don't know each other, but I'm like, well, when we have client events, they all get in a room and they all get along. Like everybody just is like friends, just because, you're attracting those people that,
got a friend mixer going on at your events then.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a nice little bonus.
Yeah.
So basically, if your sphere is moms, your niche should be moms. Or make your niche, how to upsize or how to downsize or how to find a home that'll fit your family. Things like that, kind of really utilize where you came from. So that way, your sphere kind of trusts you going into real estate because they feel like you're really attacking what they need. So we did two different niches, the restaurant industry, and then we found a subset of investors that we could kind of work with, which was our passion. So we combined our passion as well as our background when we formed our brand and what we were going to tackle.
I'm going to add on to that really quick. Another good thing about targeting investors too in Airbnb, this is something that pretty much anybody can get into, because if your specific city or area that you work in, it might not necessarily be a great area for Airbnb or investors, then that allows you to network with other agents and possibly refer those people into the markets that'll work better for them. So
yeah, because Nashville's not really that great. It was when the market was really well and the interest rates were like 2%. And then everything skyrocketed. So instead of kind of letting that fall behind, we're like, hey, let's network with people in Florida, Arizona, et cetera, so we can refer our Airbnb clients to them and still make income off of that.
That's a great network too. That's just like a little spider web. Everybody's connected with it.
Exactly.
Or I think our goal, so if anyone is on this chat and actually wants to start making that your space, we want to make a Facebook group of agents that specialize in different markets. That way we can kind of network with referrals to each other, because every investor more than likely wants to invest in other markets and put their money in different places. So it just kind of makes sense. Another part of building a brand, or that you kind of want to focus on, is client experience. That's been Jen and I's bread and butter. When I get to that section of this presentation, it's absolute insanity. When I was making it, I was like, we do a lot, but what kind of experience does your client want to have? And we wanted to make real estate a lot more fun. We're millennials. And so when we looked at real estate, we're like, this kind of sounds a little boring. You kind of just boop, boop, boop around. And we wanted to also build relationships. And that was kind of our goal. When we were in the service industry, we made a lot of friends. And so when you're in real estate, it's more competitive. So we wanted to make relationships with our clients and kind of stay in touch with them throughout the transaction, stay in touch with them years after closing. We wanted to be their lifelong realtor. And to do that, you have to stay in touch with them. You have to build an experience and a vibe that they kind of gravitate to year after year after year. Because I think, as we've learned just through Keller Williams alone, but it takes 7 years to get a transaction. And I think when you first close a deal, they're 70% likely to use the realtor again. But if they never hear from them for another 7 years, they're not going to send you a referral, and they're also not going to use you on their next buy sell. And so we think a lot long-term wise. And so we've spent a lot of money, honestly, on our client experience versus any other lead gen that probably any other agent does. So think about the client experience that you want to have. We'll get into what we do, but just really focus on that, because I think that's what's going to bring you repeat business. And then think about your ideal client. We kind of touched on that, but again, our ideal client was someone that was almost all of our clients are millennials. We have two that are moms out of the last 40. So, but that's okay. Like that we gravitate towards those people and they gravitate towards us. And so that's why we get excellent customer reviews. And that's why everyone loves to work with us. We're not everyone's cup of tea, and we've fully accepted that. And we've lost some clients because of that. And we're totally okay. I don't want to bring a client in and have them be uncomfortable with working with two realtors, or we're too young, quote unquote. So, we've kind of focused on really marketing ourselves to who we want to work with. And that's people that are our vibe, that are fun.
We've done a lot of relocations too, which, I mean, Nashville's full of transplants. So that's been kind of another, I don't want to say like niche, but another strong point of ours is working with relocations and really helping them gravitate towards areas that'll be best for people just moving to Tennessee or moving to Nashville for the first time.
The don'ts. Don't be scared. And this is another reason why I think it's so important to build a brand, because everyone's an individual agent all the time. Again, what Jen and I do is rare, and I'm not promoting what we do to anyone else because we were best friends in the same sphere at the same time. It just worked out. But to build a brand individually, I think that's extremely important, because you need to set yourself apart from all of the other individual agents that are doing the exact same thing. And that's why it's important to find a niche, utilize your sphere. We have some agents in our market that really emphasize that they're locals and they're from Nashville and they're raised in Nashville. So there's one team here called the Unicorns, because they're a unicorn. It's very rare to have someone from Nashville and live in Nashville still. There's another one I think it's called like the Nashville Native. So a lot of people have really built on that part of Nashville to build a brand off of that. What's the other one? There's another one. Oh, the Southern Roots. So she's from the South. We're not from the South. So that's not a brand we can encompass, but she's from the South and built this entire brand off of Southern roots and being able to find your Southern home in all parts of Tennessee. She works more north than us. We're more city. So again, look at your ideal client, look at your ideal location and neighborhood, and then build off of that.
I think too, the fear I think a lot of people have, especially in first starting out, is the fear of rejection and just the fear of what other people are thinking of them. Do not care. I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but have that mindset. Post the reels, post things on Instagram, look busy. Business will come. I mean, a lot of people, I think they get nervous. They're like, oh, well, so what are they going to think if I'm just starting out in real estate? Who cares? You got to get over that. You're going to get the door slammed in your face. You're going to get hung up on so many times, and you cannot take that personally. And you just can't worry about it. You have to focus on yourself and your brand. And same with the competition. I mean, like she said, we like the Southern roots or the natives, that's not us. So we can't really compete with that. So we don't worry about that necessarily. We worry about our brand and who we want to attract. And we want to tell other people, like, just don't be afraid. Just do it.
There was a team, it was a mom and daughter team. And it was Deandra and Dawn. I don't forgot her name. It was two
Started
Ds,
with a D.
and they were going to call themselves the Double Ds. And I'm like, that's a brand. It's funny, but there's a whole subset of people that would instantly be attracted to that. And they're going to market that and use that as their brand. There's going to be people that probably don't want to do that. But same thing with the Nash gals. Like there's going to be, again, we're not everyone's cup of tea, and you're not always going to be everyone's cup of tea, but market towards the people that are going to sip your tea. Okay. How you're going to figure out how you want to build a brand, follow other agents. We followed several agents while we were individual and kind of bridged off of what they were doing. There's agents that are hysterical in a lot of their content. And that's when Jen and I kind of realized, okay, we don't really have to be boring. We can be fun. And there's a whole subset of clients that love that. So that's when we kind of realized, okay, it's okay to be fun and quote unquote unprofessional when it comes to real estate. We thought that's how it came off of, but it doesn't have to be like that. And we kind of embodied both aspects of real estate while being professional and also making it a fun experience. And so we thought, we followed probably like 50 other agents. I'm constantly following other agents and seeing what they're doing in their market and their brand. And then also find an untouched industry or community. So like what we did was we found the service industry, which is untouched. There's a whole subset of traveling nurses that have no idea how to buy a home. If there's any nurses in this group or any nurses that jump into real estate, I think that's an awesome niche to kind of target. Teachers is huge. I'm a former teacher, but I can't, I'm now service industry, so I can't rep it anymore. But
can you tell she's the teacher?
Yeah. When I made this presentation, I was like, woo, so excited to teach. Anyway, but there's, again, go off of your former industry. If you're from the business profession, you've already built trust with a lot of people because you've handled money. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of agents that I've met that are like, oh, I worked in the finance department. And I'm like, oh my God, if I was a client, I would instantly trust you in how to kind of maneuver money around and where to invest and et cetera. So again, use your background, don't hide it, embrace it. Yeah,
as fall weather agents, just utilize Facebook as a tool. Like there's so many groups out there that you can join. Just read the comments, get involved, talk to people on there, see what's working. That's honestly where we get a lot of our ideas from. It's just reading what other agents are doing and what's working for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jen and I did that. We said that we wanted to be fun. We wanted to encompass millennials. We wanted to make the whole experience of real estate really fun. How are we going to now market this? Put it out for everyone to see, make sure our sphere knows about it because we want them to use us first. We got a professional photographer who was in our sphere, ironically. She was wanting to build a branding photography business and she wanted to take photos of us. And this wasn't even on our radar at all. And we're like, cool. So these are some of our first photos. Can you guys see my arrow? Oh, cool. Okay. So these are some of our first photos. Again, we wanted to be fun, cute, and also be professional as well. These are some of the ones that I use on the website. Again, professional, but wanting to let people know this is going to be a fun time. This is going to be a fun experience for you. So hire a professional photographer. I know a lot of people don't really think it's worth it. 1000%. This validated us to the extreme because we could afford a professional photographer. So it just makes you look a lot more, I don't know, professional.
We've had a lot of, honestly, we were solo agents for a while. And the second we came together and started building the brand and doing the photos and doing all the things together and with the brand, it changed, like completely changed just because of how everybody was portraying us. It was, like, oh, they're getting these professional photos. They have a logo, they have this, they have that, like, look at them go. Like that's what you want to portray.
And I will just jump in real quick. As someone that has a degree in photography, I back this up 100%. If you're going to build a strong brand, hire the professional. Like the couple $100 maybe for that photo session is going to go such a long way when clients are seeing your site and looking like you actually know what you're doing and have been in the industry long enough to have a professional site. So
that you put enough time into your job that you went and you had the photos to get them done.
Right.
Yes, exactly. This is Annika. This is one of our clients. So I just wanted to put this one in here. This obviously wasn't a professional photo, but we tried to keep our photos with our clients fun as well. So it's like, hey, we're fun to work with. This is proof. Look how much fun she's having.
And she's like one of our friends now. Yeah. Like it was really cool that, our clients have become like friends.
That's the best part, when you make a friend after the transaction too.
So yep, this was just get photos done and portray the vibe that you want to, if you're doing nursing, maybe have something in scrubs, or be at a hospital in professional attire, like whatever it is. But try and figure out a way to convey in pictures what it's like working with you. This is a mood board. So have colors. Again, when you have a brand, you got to have colors or something to kind of make you a little bit more noticeable. I think a lot of stuff's like black and white. Throw in some color. Ours was, we wanted to be professional and seen as professional. So we did the black and white, but then we're like, okay, how do we it's the Nash Gals group. You got to have some pink in there, but we didn't do like bright Barbie pink, like my blazer. We tried to keep it a little bit of like a classier, moodier pink. And so, you don't really need to do a whole mood board, but just figure out some colors. And then once you get some colors, get a logo. This was our old logo. We use this black and white one sometimes if it's a little bit more of like again, we have different vibes. This is our very first logo. And then we actually have a friend that's a graphic artist. He designed this one for us. And we wanted to really encompass Nashville because this was a very generic city logo. He actually built one that actually had the Batman building and really portrayed Nashville, part of the Nashville group. Now, once you've got your client experience and everything, that you want to have in your brand, what's next? We're going to bring it all together. We're going to encompass your client experience. We're going to talk about socials, your business and your personal social media. That's huge. and then how you're going to market it. And we're going to go into the website and come to some kind of merch that we've done too. This is the big moolah. This is what I think has gotten us where we are today. And it is our client experience. I think this is what sets us apart from a majority of other real estate agents. This is what we've gotten the most compliments on. This is what gets us our client referrals, etc. I've talked a lot, so I'll let you.
Okay. I'm just going to start it right over here in communication. So what we like to do is as soon as we're, done with our consult or we're starting to meet with them, do showings, is we do a group chat. Now, since there's 2 of us, we can always do the group chat because you need at least 3 people in the chat. But if there's a couple, you can do this too. So we'll say, so this was Mary, for example. So we changed the name on there to Mary's Dream Team, put a little picture of a house. So it puts a little nice touch on it. Cause it's like, oh, they're working for me. This is my dream team. This is, it just makes it a little bit more fun and more personable, and makes them remember us in our text message, because it's not just going to have our name saved on there. It's going to be something specifically for that client. And this was just a little conversation we had of her complimenting us. So as a little example, pot buys and lunches. So what we like to do is for different holidays. So for Thanksgiving, we did a little pot buy. We popped by all our clients' houses, and we did a little, like, in a little baggie, cookie dough whiskey with cookies, and it says, "We're grateful for you." So, instead of sending out a Christmas card this year, we decided to go to everybody's house for Thanksgiving and tell them we were thankful for them. And we're probably going to do the same for Valentine's Day, or whatever, however you want to do it. But we do pop buys each year, and that allows us to go back to our clients' houses, kind of check on things. And, if they're not home, we'll just leave it. But if they are home, we've had clients be like, "Oh, come in, we want to show you what we did, how we decorated, or, I got a new puppy," or things like that. So that's just been really cool to stay a part of their lives. And we also pick a few clients every month. We'll either go to happy hour, lunch, dinner, just to kind of spend some time with them outside of the transaction. Because again, we became friends with a lot of our clients, so we genuinely want to follow up with them. But that's been a really big, important thing with following up, staying in touch, and kind of staying top of mind.
What I want to add to that is it adds a more genuine part of it. So I don't know if anyone in here has done Bold. We're with Keller Williams. So they have a whole workshop of really tackling your database and always calling past clients. And they have a thing called come from contribution. And so we probably never wanted to be those people that called our clients and said, "Do you have a referral for me yet? Do you have a referral for me yet?" We realized that we got a lot more business and a lot more compliments when we just genuinely stayed involved in their lives versus just constantly asking for business. I mean, at the end of the day, they know probably deep down why we're staying in touch, but we actually just sit with them, hang out, and have a good time. And not once are we like, "So do you know anyone looking to buy or sell?" Because I know for a fact they're going to refer us no matter what. And because we built a genuine relationship instead of just a business relationship with them. And that was our core focus with this entire client experience.
So another thing, client events and local tickets. So with client events, this little picture right here, it was her closing gift, Annika, that you saw on the other page. We threw her a little wine party. So we got a wine tasting specialist to come in. We said, "Hey, invite 10 of your friends. We're going to bring wine, cheese, goodies, all the things, and we're going to sip some wine and have some fun." So that was a really cool thing to do, because we actually got to meet some of her friends. And we'll do client events every so often. We just had one around the holidays where, we gave out poinsettias, and it was cool because for those events, we say, "Hey, bring a friend." So we get a chance to meet those other people and kind of stay in touch and get in front of them. But she also brought one of her friends from this event to our next event. So we're getting to know more people that our clients are close with as well, who will likely refer us business, and 2, we can become friends with. So it's kind of a little bonus, which is nice. And then local tickets, we are subscribed to this. Every single month, this company, they'll give out certain tickets around Nashville. So they'll be like, "Hey, we have a ticket to this comedian." We're like, "Oh, who would like this comedian?" And we'll send a ticket to our client. Or one time we had a hockey thing. We have a client that's really into hockey. So we sent them that ticket. We'll get beer and wine festival tickets. So we'll occasionally give out tickets throughout the year just to kind of show that we care and stay in touch. And it's just a nice little treat that we like to add on to.
For anyone interested, it's called Do More, and they're actually operating in several other cities. It's $5 a month. So expense wise, it's extremely cheap, and we get a pair of tickets every single month to just give out, and it makes us look a little bit more exclusive when we just have free tickets all the time to give to clients. Birthdays, we just send out birthday cards. As you can see, we're staying on brand with the funny picture. That's my dog. His name's Nash. He's adorable. He's involved sometimes in consults. He's great. Anyway, fun picture. We send that out to everyone's birthdays, and then they get a $5 Starbucks card. We're actually trying to change this up and cut our expenses on that. If anyone has any ideas, let us know, because Crumble has a thing where they can give you 100 free cookie cards, and it comes out to like $3.25 a card. So we're looking at, trying to cut expenses. But anyway, these have been great. We always get a text saying thank you, or it's just a cute way to follow up. After every single appointment, we send them a thank you card with another $5 Starbucks in there. So that's kind of where we go with retention. We want to like have the appointment and then also build that mindset of like, okay, this sounds bad, but I want them to feel guilty to not use us because we've given them so many things.
We like to gift and love on our people,
yes.
is what she's trying to say.
Where I got this was when I first started out as a new agent, I door knocked, and we were in this really exclusive neighborhood, and I followed up with this guy for months. I sent him comps. We were talking all the time. And when it came down to him listing, he was like, Corinne, I have to tell you, I got to go with the people that I bought the house with. And I said, okay, why? And he was like, they've sent me so many gifts. They've invited me to so many events. He's like, I feel incredibly guilty not using them because they put so much money into the relationship so far. And I had no rebuttal for that. And he was like, I'm going to send your comps to the list agent. And I was like, thanks. So I've been literally doing all this work
For nothing.
It's because I didn't buy you flowers on your anniversary. Like, it was just, it changed my whole mindset of the guilt factor of making people feel like not only are they actually like spending a lot of money on me, but I genuinely can't use anybody else. And then, so again, right after the appointment, we send the card. It's got $5 of Starbucks in there. When a client closes on a purchase of a home, we do this homeowner handbook. It's just got pretty much anything that they need, home warranty wise, inspector wise. We tell them to keep all their warranties in there for their appliances. Any work that you get done on the home, put it in the binder. And when you go to sell the home, you give it to the new buyer.
Well, also the strategy, it has our vendors in it, but the strategy behind that is too, that they'll use us to then list the home. So we say, keep this handbook, put everything in it. So that way, when you're ready to sell your home, you hand it back to us and we'll have everything we need.
And then gifts, we do really personalized closing gifts. We try to spend the same amount on every client, but if there's a client that really likes beer, we do these branded growlers on Shutterfly. And we also put Love the Nash Gals on there. So again, that's tax deductible. I think it says like beer tastes better in a new home. So anyone that likes beer, we try to really actively listen and ask our clients multiple questions like, oh, what places have you been in Nashville? Do you guys like breweries? Do you guys like wineries? Like, what's your vibe? Just to kind of get to know them so that when we do a gift, it's really easy. We do gift cards to local restaurants if they tell us they really like a favorite one. This is a baby blanket that we made for someone that had a baby while we were under contract. And then if there are relocations, we like to do these beer steins that have like from California to Tennessee. I know that looks dumb, but it actually comes out really cool in the glass.
We just try to make it really personal to like what they like. Like we have, like we did the wine tasting thing where she could bring her friends, and we did, since they just had a baby, having a chef come and give them like a culinary experience in their home. So we like to do different things tailored to that specific.
I'm ready to move to Nashville.
Right.
Just to come for this client experience. Dang.
We spoil people.
But we like to do it too. Like we genuinely want them to know that we care and we pay attention. And
it feels good to have good relationships with your clients.
Yeah.
And you do listen to them, which is great, because like you're talking about the competition was stealing some clients from you because they were gifting so much, but were they just gifting to gift, or were they actually listening and gifting very specific things based on what their interests are and their experiences are? So, I mean, like you were talking about giving out local hockey tickets to a client that you know loves hockey. Those kind of touches are perfect. Not everybody does that.
And then our final touch is we just added this year. We now donate a portion of our commissions to a charity of our client's choice. This has been really nice and actually really heartwarming. We had one client that his dad, who just passed recently, his favorite charity was St. Jude. And so we donated to St. Jude, and St. Jude sent him a card saying that we made a donation in his honor. And then they just sent me a shirt. And so I just went and dropped off the shirt to him. And so even though they didn't actually give any money, it made him feel like they had an actual impact in the process of this donation. And if they hadn't used us, this donation wouldn't have happened. And it was just kind of a final little reminder of we're trying to do good in the community, and you had an impact on that by using us. So that's been added this year.
One other fun thing that I don't think was on here that we do is we give pizza on closing day or on moving day. Sorry. So we ask them at the very beginning, hey, what's your favorite pizza toppings? And then whenever they're moving in, we're like, hey, we know it's going to be really hard for you, really stressful day. We want to make this as stress-free as possible. We'll send you guys pizza when you move.
Mm-hmm.
You're
We learned
geniuses.
that actually from another
Straight up
agent.
geniuses.
Yeah.
And then I know we've got about 10 more minutes here, so I'll kind of just go through this a little quickly. So how you're going to start promoting your client experience and your brand and everything. This is how we targeted our niche. We did the service industry, musician, home buyer mixer. This went really well. I think we got like 50 leads from it on Facebook. This is how we targeted our Airbnb niche. We did this whole thing and, promoted that on Facebook, and we had an investor list. And so we had a lot of people want to join the investor list so they can get the emails of all the STRs and everything that we had that came available on the market. Again, establishing ourselves as the experts in both of these niches. And then social media photography again, photograph everything, get a professional photographer, and then also bring your clients into your photography, get pictures of you with them, do fun things. Professional photos are great, but also you need to have like those candid shots that really show that you're actually practicing what you preach. Keep everything on brand. So whatever colors you use, whatever font you use, whatever it is, keep it all the same. You want people to see a for sale sign and be like, oh, that's the Nash Scouts because that's their colors, or that's their picture, whatever it is. So our listing presentation is the same colors, everything the same colors, Instagram, everything. We do reels a lot. This was a reel that we did of telling a client that her offer got accepted. This was when the market was psychotic. And this actually did really well. But it just showed, video's really big right now. Photography is great, but video's really been game changing in social media. And so you've got to stay up to date on that. That's why we follow so many agents, because they do really short reels that we need to start doing. But you need to put yourself in front as many people as possible. And the more reels you do, the more likely you are to get on the explore page. There's a whole algorithm to that. Over Ask Podcast is experts on that. So that's a plug for them. I love that podcast. That's pretty much what we've learned, half of the things that we do. But do reels, even if they're dumb, do them.
Just do them. The more you do them, the more, you'll feel comfortable doing them too.
Yeah, and the algorithm is definitely on social media. They're playing a lot more videos than showing just static images anymore.
There's some people's Instagrams that only have reels now because they're trying to be more like TikTok, which I get. I know when I'm on Instagram, I don't even really scroll through the pictures anymore. It's not even, Facebook's still very photos, but yeah.
I actually scrolled. I look at reels, I look at stories. I'm not looking at the static images ever.
Yeah. They funnel the reels to people. They don't funnel the pictures anymore. And so we kind of just had to adapt. Video presentation of listings. So we've added this to our listing presentation. We saw a lot of other agents in a lot of our other markets doing this, and they'll be mic'd up. It's an extremely professional walkthrough of one of their new listings. That's something I wanted to add to kind of really elevate ourselves, because we've done a lot of business and it was really good business, but we're starting to move our target to more luxury listings. And this was kind of a way to show that we're kind of trying to break into that space and compete with other agents that aren't necessarily doing this. So that's another part of your brand, is don't be afraid to grow and adapt. With our last photography shoot that we just did, again, what we've always done is really cute and fun, but I was trying to make it a little bit more upscale so that we can kind of target and market towards those listings and those buyers as well. So don't be afraid to grow and change. This is something that we did that was successful, not only because we promoted it all over social media, but then it was really impressive to our client when we went to go list the property.
And you can always use that for future, listing presentations, things like that, and that kind of what sets us apart from other agents too. If you're competing in a listing presentation or listing appointment, is we will shoot a commercial for your home. That's essentially what it is, a promo video just for your home. And that's something that not a lot of other people offer.
And if anyone wants to see examples of that, this is all on our social media. Everything that I've pointed out is all on our social media.
Check us out, give us a follow.
These gals are tagged in the Agent U social media posts as of this week, so you can go there to find them right away.
Thank you. Last thing I'll touch on is we built our own website. I got it through Squarespace. They've actually made this a lot more user friendly than it was when I built it. It was so difficult. I wanted to rip my hair out, but it's actually a lot better now. If you're tech savvy in any way, shape, or form, I highly recommend it's $200 for the year, and you build out your own website. We use our own photography. We do everything. And if you go and check us out, we have everything on there. We have our buyer's questionnaire on there. So that way, when we get a new client, we send them the questionnaire. So that way they can still play around with the website after they finish the questionnaire. Before they finish the questionnaire, we have all of our client pictures on there, all of our events. This is a really big validation for a lot of people. It made us look more professional. We send it out to any agent that's looking for a Nashville agent. Again, it's just more validation to them that we look bigger and better than we might be. So, and then also we, what was I gonna say? Oh my God. Anyway,
I don't know, but we have lots of merch too. So yeah. we got our logo on magnets. So when we go to a listing presentation, we'll give them a magnet, or if somebody's moving on closing day, the walkthrough, moving their new home, I'm just like, oh, hey, I got you a little magnet for your fridge, and I'll just stick it on the fridge. So just things that kind of stay top of mind. And then we have branded wine glasses as well. There's a little picture of our client drinking out of it. I think you remembered what you were going to say. Okay.
We have everything about our brand on the website. So our client experience and what we provide to our clients is also on there. And we did have one client who we interviewed 7 other agents, might I add, that said one of the reasons she chose us was because of the website and how much she said, if you can market like that, then you know what you're doing. And so highly recommend, whatever it's KW, Benchmark, whatever agency you use, if they provide you with a website and it's free, that's fine, but build it out and customize it and promote it everywhere. Because when you have a website, you just look 10 times better. You look more professional, more established. Yeah. And again, I use Squarespace. You can use whatever you want, but Squarespace is very user-friendly now.
Yeah.
And so you've built all this out. Now what? Again, post everything all over social media. If you're a new agent and you have literally nothing going on, this is what we tell Lacey, and you're not on a team, pretend you've got multiple showings and do a reel about it. Here, check out my new client's house, or, check out the renovations that my client did on a previous house. Nobody's going to know if you're lying. I'm sorry, but you need to fake it to make it right now. And I want you to post everything. Say you had multiple showings, say you had multiple appointments. If one of your friends groups asks how's real estate going, lie through your teeth and tell them that you are killing it.
Always
love your job and everything's going fantastic. I know that was a mistake I made in the very beginning. When we got really busy, I was like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. And I was like, why am I saying that? Now they're not going to trust me when they want to go buy, because now I'm so stressed out. You got to just put on a face and embody this kind of character that you want people to kind of trust. And so we tell Lacey all the time, anytime we have a closing, listing, or an inspection, come with us and post it on your socials as if it's your own, because you're on our team, so you can do that. So if you're not on a team, piggyback on another agent, or again, just go to multiple houses, schedule showings, and tell people that you're going on this house tour with a client, whatever it is. Post everything.
But also take that time
on a
to
house tour.
Yeah, exactly. But also, if you genuinely aren't having that much business, I mean, yes, take the time to do that, but then take the time to go to classes, educate yourself, and things like that. So post all the things, but also keep learning. Don't just post it and sit back and do nothing, do continuing education, go to all the classes, go to classes that you will get value out of.
What I will say too, when we built out our social media, it wasn't really to get strangers. It was to validate our sphere. And so we had all of our friends and family follow us on social media, and we actually still don't have that many followers, but it doesn't matter to me because they're quality followers. And they're all people that love and tell us all the time they can't wait to buy and sell with us. And so when we post online, it's mainly for them to tell them, hey, look, we're doing really well. I know I was a waitress 2 years ago, but look at what we're doing now. And every single time we get comments or people, friends messaging us, whatever it is, either referring us somebody or telling someone that we're crushing it. And when we first started, we had like 2 transactions under our belt, and we got comments all the time like, wow, you guys are crushing it. And I look at Jen and I'm like,
yeah, we are.
Totally are. And there was times where I was like, they really think we're like crushing it right now. And then people started getting validation from it, and it worked.
I had someone say to me, he's like, Jen, I see how many houses you're selling.
Yeah.
I follow you on social media. I sold like 1 house. And I was like, yeah, I'm real busy, which I mean, now we are, but like, you just gotta roll with it.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it is a very true thing in real estate.
Valuable vendors. Again, we have a really close relationship with our inspector. He had just started his company when we got into real estate, so we kind of utilized each other. He just helped us with our last event sponsorship. And then we have a really close relationship with our title company. So a lot of people are going to be hitting you up for lunches, etc. Really vet them. And if you feel like you can build a really good, strong relationship with them, go for it. Again, our inspector is amazing and we will never recommend anybody else. And same with us. He'll never recommend anyone else for any house purchases. And he's available whenever we want. He does sponsorships. Our title company has crushed it for us because we took a chance, quote unquote, when he had just started, and they are pretty much there for us whenever we need. And so really start building relationships now while you're new, so you have those to lean on when you do get busy.
Yeah, those are two like quality relationships I would say like I value very much, and because they take such good care of our clients. So if you can find that and spend your time building relationships with those vendors, highly, highly, highly recommend.
Are there any other types of vendors that you would recommend to build a good relationship with as well, other than the title and the home inspector? Like, do you have any interior designers or anything of that sort too?
Yeah, lenders, plumbers, electricians.
We have a stager that we have a good relationship with too. It's not someone I think she would ever like sponsor anything for us, but I would personally like to build a stronger relationship with her for that way. You know, if we need something immediate, if we've already got a relationship with her, she'll probably put us in the front of the list.
Great.
Literally anyone that you meet that could help your business, if it's not now, later. So a stager, a painter. We have started building really good relationships with roofers, foundation specialists. They've started coming out and not charging our clients to come out and give
That's big.
And we send them, we have a subscription to AM cards. We'll send them like brownies or like something dumb to just be like, hey, I appreciate you for your time. Cause sometimes our clients still don't go through the deal, or they don't get any money off of it. They're literally just doing it because we keep sending them stuff. Everyone you meet could probably help your business in some way, shape, or form. And so really value those. Don't burn any bridges. Stay in touch with everybody as if they are your client, even though they're just a relationship or a vendor or whatever it is. If you have a part-time job, a lot of first-time agents, I still work one shift, well, a month. It's like one shift a month now, at the bar on Broadway, but it's really nice to still show my face and be like, what's up, guys? And they know I'm doing fine because I'm not there every day or even every week anymore, but it's nice to be like, hey, and they always ask me something real estate related, almost every single time. And so if you still have a part-time job, what I would recommend is start pulling away from it. So you get a little bit nervous with money. So you hustle a little bit more in real estate, but also so your sphere starts seeing you pull back. They'll start thinking that you're doing better in real estate. And then everyone will start, building this trust in the business that you're building. But keep your part-time job a part-time job. If you've got a full-time job, real estate cannot be your part-time job. Real estate's got to be the full-time job, and your part-time job's got to be your part-time job. Utilize it. Don't quit. I mean, again, our entire sphere is the restaurant. So it's still nice to have my foot in the door there. But I mean, you've got to keep real estate the full-time job. And then lastly, network within your vibe. Had Jen mentioned earlier, we went to restaurants and met managers and built relationships with them. Again, that was on our niche, that was on our brand. So it just made sense. And he was like, oh my God, you guys are former servers. We're like, I know. And so I think that's all.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel like we went over time, but anyway, the power of a brand, people.
No, you're totally good on time. And I love that you had a whole vision board for this. Usually it's just like a click through presentation. If you're like, nah, whole board.
Boring.
Shows that you are set apart for real, not just in your marketing. It is you ladies who are different. Your brains are creative and so inspiring.
Yep. Everybody should be taking notes. If you don't know where to start with your brand vision board like this, great way to start. I took some
notes actually for just like things that I thought that would be great during this. Very impressed. Very impressed.
Yeah.
I have a question about your client experience.
Yes.
So I know you said you have that listed on your website. I have heard of agents that have it listed like publicly, that here's everything that you're going to expect. And then there's some agents that will have it like they have to give it to the consumer. It's not like public knowledge of what they'll be receiving. Which way do you guys, like, I know you said it's on your website, but is like everything on your website? Is it full transparency? Do you keep some things close to the vest that are only for special listings?
I would say for like, obviously communications, number one, that's on our website. We say we do client events and local tickets. We have the charity thing. We don't say we do birthday cards. We don't say we do the appointment. We say, actually, we don't even, we treat them to retrograde coffee next door when they come to the appointment, and then we send the card in the mail. We don't promote that because I don't want a lot of people just making appointments just to get coffee.
That's a little surprise. I feel like it's not listed black and white. We post pictures a lot on social media. So we'll show, like we showed a picture and a video of the, can you still see our screen?
Yep, I see your
Okay, so this is how I have it right now. And I just put this on the website, mind you. So this is what it's like working with us. We have communication, consistent communication, because again, we work in pairs. So there's always someone, we don't have like, oh, we name a group chat. And it's not like super specific. Yeah. It's just like, hey, why use us basically? Okay. Our network, we've established strong relationships, with title company, blah, blah, blah. And then the perks, we have home anniversary gifts, tickets to local Nashville events. We also do local pizza, closing. Okay. Oh, we do say birthday gifts. So it's just like a highlight, but it's not like work with us because you're going to get a lot of stuff. It's just like, hey,
you don't lay it out like a list.
These are
this is what you can look forward to, or what kind of sets us apart. Yeah.
And then we post pictures too, so people can kind of see on our social media, oh, hey, like, I wonder what that was. And they must have done that for them.
Oh, that's a nice house. I like that. The green one with the 4 people and that
was an Airbnb.
Oh, that's so cool. Was it a family that purchased it as an Airbnb?
No, it was just a vacation home it was 2.5 hours away. But just a vacation home that they could use intermittently, but she just genuinely wanted to start building a portfolio and building income. And she wanted one in Tennessee, and Nashville didn't work, but we didn't want to refer her out, to other Tennessee markets, because Nashville's pretty much it. And then Knoxville, anything else Airbnb wise, you kind of got to go for the people that really specialize in it, because no other agent really knows what they're doing.
And that couple actually is a real estate team in Florida. So it's
that's cool. You ladies in that picture. That's not a family.
Yeah, it was really early in the morning. Look,
it was sick.
Now I see.
No, but those are 2 other agents that we met. They live in Florida. So it was cool, like agents helping agents kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
It's awesome. And this is again, fun pictures. Work hard, have fun, and make a difference.
I like that it's not moody and broody. I see a lot of moody, broody. I don't really want to work with a moody person with something like buying a house. So this,
or just like a fake,
refreshing.
I don't know. They just want to come.
And then this is our questionnaire. So we have them fill it out before every single appointment. But I used to have it in a Google Doc, but now we put it on the website, so that way when they are done, they can kind of bounce around and be like, oh, okay, I'm actually working with a professional team and not just because we tag ourselves in a lot of Facebook stuff, not just some random agent on Facebook. Our mission statement, meet us. Again,
mission statement, awesome.
Yeah.
While we're looking at the marketing part of this, on a similar topic, we do have a question that came in. They're asking if you have any past marketing experience, and if not, how did you start educating yourself to get to this point with your branding?
No, she's the brains behind the marketing.
My boyfriend did marketing for a long time, so I asked him a lot of questions while I was kind of figuring out, like, again, our marketing sucked in the beginning because I was just learning. I was just posting whatever I thought would work. But honestly, I just followed a lot of other agents, and I looked at their Instagrams, and I looked at what they were doing. I looked at a lot of websites to see, this took me probably like 75 hours to build this out, but I did it all over one weekend. And the whole week prior, all I did was I went on Reddit and Googled like agent branded website, and I looked through all of theirs. And again, they're all kind of the same and all kind of boring, but, so yeah, I just leaned on other agents, looked at what they were doing, and then Instagram wise, looked at what they're doing and just kind of copied everything that I saw.
What's your loyalty club?
Okay, so this is something that our productivity coach was doing when we first started. So you can't legally give someone money to refer you a client.
Right.
And so our incentive was, I guess if you became part of a loyalty club, there was a loophole. If you send us a client, we can give you a gift.
Okay.
So if you join our loyalty club.
But this was also a way for us to capture their information. So name, birthday. Yeah. So we'll send them birthday cards. If you join our loyalty club, you get a birthday card, you get, and then you get the, little gift once you refer us somebody.
And every client you send us that books an initial appointment, you'll receive a special gift in your email. And it's just a Visa gift card or whatever. But that was our loophole of incentivizing people to further send us referrals. Yeah. We actually don't get a lot of this. We actually get referrals from people just genuinely sending us referrals, but we try and still give them a gift because they send us something.
Right. It's honestly that loyalty club. I think when we first started out, we were like, join our club, because we were trying to capture people's information. And now we don't get people just joining it. But, and it's people that we genuinely want to send birthday cards to anyway. So it kind of worked out. But what's been really helpful for us too, is we kind of function very differently. As you guys can probably tell, she's like the creative brain. She does all of our marketing, our social media, things like that. And that presentation, that whiteboard, like, was amazing. I could have never come up with that. And I do a lot of the like admin spreadsheet type A type stuff.
Well, you need the two halves of the brain together.
So that's why it works too. So I know we function a lot differently because we are a partnership than versus like an individual agent or, something like that. But it's been working really well for us. And
that's one last thing I will add. If you can lean on another agent, I wouldn't obviously say like just join a willy-nilly partnership. Me and her trust each other very deeply. So I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but I will say lean on another agent that can help you when you're on vacation or when you have, when you're sick or anything, because that was the benefit with me and her is we could still have our own lives and we could still take vacations and still live a life separate from the business because we had someone that kind of backed us up. If you have another friend that's in the industry or you want to build a friendship and start leaning on them so that way when either of you go on vacation, someone's able to take over and do showings. That's really all it is. Like we still are very involved when we're on vacation. It's just the showings part was really nice to have someone there to do those that's still on the team. So if you have a friend that you can kind of lean on, that's also a new agent, do that for each other. And so that way you're not so stressed and burnt out. You have to be able to go on vacation and trust that someone's going to be there.
You need to like decompress at some point, especially when you're in a people industry like this. It builds up sometimes and you need to take a step back occasionally.
Right.
All right. Well, we're almost out of time here. Laura, do you have any questions before we finish up?
We were talking about the client experience a bit here. Is there any like platform that you guys use to track all the little details because you do such a personalized experience with everybody? Is there a way that you keep track of the notes, like what people are interested in and like what things you've given them and what you still need to give them and anything like that?
We kind of we have everybody kind of categorized and notes and things like that, but we just kind of take a mental note and we're texting each other all day. I'm like, oh, so-and-so said they like plants or they like bourbon or whatever, we kind of take a mental note. And when we're in consults too, we're taking notes and we kind of like to ask questions about their hobbies, things they like to do, and just casual conversation. And we'll jot that down about them too.
On our buyer's questionnaire before they even come in, there's a question at the bottom that says like, what are your hobbies? 3 favorite hobbies. What do you like to do in your spare time? We'll instantly know if they're drinkers or not, if they mark champagne or sparkling cider. So not give them like a bottle of champagne. And they're like sober for 5 years. And then I'm like, oh my God. We ask them what kind of pizza they like, stuff like that. But we try and at least get a good gist of what their hobbies are. And then when we do showings, we'll have someone say like, oh, I need a giant closet for all my guitars. And I'm like, Jenny likes guitars. And like or I need like storage for my bike. And I'm like, Jenny likes biking. Like, you just got to really actively listen. And then there's sometimes where I'm like, I have literally no idea what to get this person. And we'll just do the gift card. And especially if it's like a couple, or we just had a client close on a fixer-upper, we gave them a Home Depot gift card because that just made more sense because I was going to get them a whole thing, but I was like, they're spending a lot of money on this house. This makes more sense to give them something to contribute to that. But yeah, we try to be really customized. We always, again, keep it consistent. I wouldn't spend an exorbitant amount of money on one client and not enough on the other because you're going to have client events and they're going to start talking. So on that note, we have one client that just had a baby. And so we couldn't really think of a gift. And so we had sent them an Uber Eats gift card when they had the baby. So we had already knocked that out. And so we're like, why don't we send them a chef to the house and make them a dinner?
Wow.
The chef happens to be
nicer than most friends.
So the chef happens to be her boyfriend. So we cut a lot of cost on that. And they were like, oh, this is so exclusive. But it was catered to them because they just had a baby. We couldn't send them a gift card to go eat somewhere because they can't leave the house. And so we brought the nice dinner to them.
That is so thoughtful.
That's fantastic.
All right, I'm moving to Nashville. Everybody get off this call. I need to start packing my bag. I'm sure the weather's better too than where I am.
If anybody would like to mastermind or chat anything, we'd love to, set aside some time and get a group together, just chat one-on-one. If anybody has any other questions, we'd love to network. And we'd love to have referral partners in other places too.
Heck yeah.
We are so happy that you guys were able to join us today. This was an amazing workshop, and I feel like everybody's going to find a lot of value in this. We found value. I've taken notes of things that we could improve upon, especially with the client experience. We work on that, but we could always do a better job there. If there's any way that people need to reach out to you, like you said, you can reach them on their website, or you can find them through the Agent U social media pages. Just a reminder too, we have frequent giveaways, so be checking your emails and the website for that as well. Make sure if you're tuning into these things that you're making sure you're included in that survey feedback to get included in the giveaway.
You have really
We'll
good
be
swag to
announcing
give
that.
away.
Yes, we have really good swag. We don't skimp on the swag. It's great. You're going to want it. So we'll be announcing the next winner on one of the upcoming live streams. So make sure you're tuning in.
All right. Well, that's all for this month, everybody. Thank you so much, Nash Gals. I wouldn't be mad if you guys came back sometime.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes.
You're
I'd love to.
Yes.
Hit us up in a year, because I'm sure a lot of things will change by then. We're
Yeah.
always growing and we're always changing. So
Yep, as the market changes, you got to change up how you do things.
Exactly.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.